We are back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. I'll ask for returns for you guys to smash that like button. And here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to go up higher, breaking through resistance levels and breaking above 410, guys. And we talked about how above 410, we have 415 and 420 as resistance levels. But we need to break down what's going on here and why tomorrow is a huge day with CPI data coming out, right? Now, as the SPY continued to go up higher, our SPY bot sent out a bull indicator at 9:16 a.m. And from that moment forward into the bell and after the bell, the SPY continued to go up and calls went up 200% plus within an hour, guys. And to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, you can now gain access to it as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to our SPY bot, our QQQ bot, our newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities. Now, here we are with the SPY continuing to push up higher. It broke through the resistance of 407, found support there, went to 411 and bounced between 408, 410, and now it's breaking out here towards the end of the day of 411 area again. This is super important because today is the day before CPI data is released tomorrow. As you see it popping up here on the screen, tomorrow CPI data will be released in the pre-market before the bell. And this is huge because it's either going to make it or break it to go higher or lower. And we're going to talk about the key levels here and what 42 vision is showing. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home and opportunity I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And as you see popping up here on the screen, these are some of the home runs I managed to find last week alone. And while it's not guaranteed to be this way every single time, we strive for opportunities like these every single day. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. And by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So these are the two stocks I mentioned this morning, and both of them gave jumps of 3 to 5%, 5 to 10% plus, but one of them turned out to be a home run, and that was RGLS. We caught this one in the pre-market pulling downwards, got a bear indicator, sitting sideways towards the bell. The inflows actually started to pick up and it jumped nearly 10 to 20% plus within minutes, pulled back down within that consolidation, found support again, inflows crossed for a second time with strength. 42 vision was filled with strength. That bull indicator was still in play and it went for a highest point of 30% plus, guys. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, continuing to push up higher, leading up to the date of the CPI data release. Now, if CPI is hotter than expected and it surprises the markets, or it comes up slightly hotter or close to the expectations, that could actually stir up some volatility to the downside. Just my opinion and perspective alone, not financial advice, right? Now, if for any reason CPI starts to go lower, which all the bulls in the market are stating that actually CPI has peaked back in June and that things are starting to look better moving forward, well, it could try to retest back up towards 420s or try to even break through it in the next few days, right? That data is going to be a huge determining factor if this run continues. Now, we're going to break down in today's video with 42 vision in our inflow versus outflow indicator, everything going on here in these charts. I'm going to pull up the bull and bear indicators, which you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to the SPY bot, our QQQ bot, our newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities. And you can now join the members using these resources to maximize in either direction by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility, and slots are now open for those interested. the link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator and getting connected to the inflow versus outflow. So here we are under a bull indicator. We had a slight bear indicator pop up that day in the pre-market, and it got canceled quickly by a bull indicator, and things have continued since. Now, when we actually double bottom back here between September 1st and way back here at September 6th, we actually bounced back up, got a bull indicator, and the momentum began since then. Now, this bear indicator was short-lived. The bull indicator has been dominating, and you could see how it bounced off, found support above the midpoint, and continued to stay above it for the last 3 days. And since way back here on the 7th, inflows crossed for the first time. And since then, we have stayed above it based off the 30-minute chart. Now, in this chart, we have actually gone towards extreme strength here, multiple days back to back, which is bright green. And eventually things do tend to fade or slow down, and the shifts that happen is back towards dark green with red borders, as you see right here, and then the continuation of red and then going towards white with red borders, which is what we call the dip areas, right? This area right here. So very important to see this here. This right here is a complete transition from the dip area. Bull and bear indicators are there as extra layers of confirmation, as well as the crossovers on inflow versus outflow to the upside and to the downside, and then going from white with red borders to bright green, which is the dip to the rip, and then on the way back down as well. So far, we've been in a rip area based off the 30-minute and above the inflows for 4 days straight. Now, how could this continue? Well, as we stated earlier, CPI data needs to come in lower, surprise the markets, and kind of show that CPI has peaked, or it looks like it's going down, creating a market environment where the bulls are going to be glad to see these numbers and take advantage of pushing things even further up. And anyone that's short may even have to cover, pushing things up really fast. But that's in the case of the bullish case of CPI coming below the expectations. Now, if it comes above or really close to it, it could actually start confusing people, stating, have we peaked? Have we not? What is the Fed going to do? How's the Fed going to react? Those are the thought processes, right? So let's talk about what's going on in the bigger picture. So on the 1 hour, it's done a complete transition here from red to bright green. It's been under a bull indicator as well. And then the inflows crossed on that same date on the 7th. And it's the first day that we actually have a pretty steep downward trend of outflows, but we're still above the midpoint. So the last 2 times it actually found support and sat sideways and went higher every time, but this is the first time for most of the day the outflows have been dominating. So I'm going to be watching if this comes closer towards the midpoint or even crosses it going into tomorrow based off the CPI data that is released in the pre-market, right? And how it reacts after the bell. Now on the 30-minute, we are sitting really close here to the midpoint. This is the closest that we've been in the last several days. Today in the pre-market and today towards the end of the market. Now, it is pushing up here after hours, and it's trying to break through the resistance of 411.76. And then above that will be 412, 415, and then we could start talking about 420 if that's the direction things are going to take. Those are the resistance levels I'm watching, right? But if this switches back from green to red and comes down and crosses that midpoint, that is going to be significant, and it could impact the chart to the downside, and it could actually bring a bear indicator that could possibly cancel out that bull indicator. That's going to be very important to keep in mind, and it's the first time that we're crossing to the downside on the inflow versus outflow on the 30-minute in the last 4 days. Now, if we zoom into the volatility on the 15-minute, we could see that today in the pre-market, it crossed the midpoint and brought itself back up. And we're currently above it right here, but pretty close to it, right? In this whole entire consolidation. Now, it's under a bull indicator, and we're going to have to watch this. Is it going to continue into tomorrow's pre-market? Break out above 412. See how it falls between 412 and 415. And if it could end up getting these inflows to push up higher, not only on the 15-minute, but roll into the 30-minute and hold that bull indicator strong there. Now, to the downside, if this was to break the first support here of 408, The next one is down here at 406, and below that will be 402. And I'll be watching if these midpoints get crossed, because the last time we crossed it way back here on September 2nd, things went from 398 all the way down to 390. So it is very important to see what's going on here and if those bear indicators pop up and how quickly the charts get affected based off the inflow versus outflow. Do we stay above? Do we stay below? And how those bull and bear indicators are looking in the chart, guys. Tomorrow's a big day. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.